Have you ever been to a recycling plant? They are amazing. And they're big and noisy. So as it turns out, the largest recycling plant in the world is just a short way from here, and we can get there on our bikes. I'll see you there. Well, here we are, in Mother Nature's recycling plant. Everything here will someday be recycled into something new, but this place is quiet and peaceful. We'll learn some new words today, and I think you'll learn to see the forest in a new way. It's like Mother Nature has a toolbox of helpers, each one with certain jobs to take big things and make them smaller. Look at this huge pine tree. Isn't it beautiful? But someday, its turn in the forest will be over, and it will be recycled. Let's explore this forest and see how trees get recycled. This time of year is sometimes called the see-through season. We can actually see more now than we would in the summer. There is so much that's interesting in the world of nature. By the end of this video, you'll know what this is all about. And how did these holes get here? Let's start with something that's easy to see, like holes in trees. They could have many causes, like a branch falling off. Trees will try to repair the damage, but trees are slow growers. This opens a way for birds, insects, or small animals to use the hole, and they may make it bigger. A hole often becomes a home, and it is frequently the beginning of the recycling of a tree. Squirrels spend their summer in nests like these that don't harm a tree. But in the winter, they like holes in trees. It's easier to stay warm in a hole. Look for scuff marks in the bark around a hole. That's one way to see if it's in use by some critter right now. Sometimes they make the cavity inside the tree much bigger. A cavity is an empty space inside a solid object. Female squirrels need room for babies, and a nice large cavity is just perfect. Perfect for the squirrel, but not for the tree. This is a weakness where trees can break in a windstorm. Some holes are close to the ground. See anything interesting? You're right if you spotted the scuff marks. If insects are attacking the tree, the first place they go is under the bark. The soft layer under the bark, called the cambium, is delicious to many bark beetles. When the cambium layer is gone, the tree cannot bring food and water up to its leaves. Woodpeckers land on the bark and feel the beetles' movements with their feet. Then they peck holes to eat the beetles. These woodpecker holes make even more insect invasions possible. Woodpecker holes are fairly easy to find. You might want to peek inside if there's one down low, see if maybe the tree is hollow. It's also something you could draw in your nature journal. There are hundreds of varieties of bark beetles. Some eat the cambium layer in a very organized pattern. Others seem to chew in a totally random way. When the bark finally falls off a tree, These different patterns are easy to see. I hope you are finding new things to look for as you wander through nature's kingdom. As we've seen, birds, animals, and insects all use trees as a part of their life cycle. But plants also play a big role in recycling. This tree has vines climbing its trunk. The vines hold tightly onto the tree with tendrils. Tendrils are like little arms with twisty hooks. The vine wants to climb up to where the light is strongest, and a tree is a handy way to get there. Unfortunately, the leaves of the vine can completely cover the top of the tree, and the tree can't survive. Sometimes we find things as we explore that even nature can't recycle, like this pop can. We'll bring it home and send it to the proper type of recycling. As a tree ends its life of reaching toward the sky, it begins its downward path back to the soil that gave it life. Other organisms are ready to use the tree as food. Scientists call this class of organisms decomposers. Fungi, lichens, and mosses, and others all grow well on a tree when it gets closer to the ground and becomes more moist. One of the most interesting and largest of these are bracket fungi, sometimes called shelf fungi or tree ears. They have very fine roots that extract food from the wood in the tree trunk. The age of many of these shelf fungi can be determined by the dark rings, one ring for each year. Lichens frequently live on trees without harming them, but eventually each of these decomposers does consume a small part of the tree. Mosses are common virtually everywhere. This is a decomposer, which you should be able to find around your own house. But look closer. Look at the different types of moss. Some have little flowers on top, some grow flat against the tree. You might want to try drawing them in your nature journal. Mosses also help a tree to decompose by retaining moisture. Moisture causes the tree to rot, and soon the rich heartwood becomes life-giving soil. Our tree melts into the forest floor. During its life of over 100 years, it has housed and fed thousands of birds, squirrels, and countless others, as well as creating clean oxygen for us to breathe. Within weeks, tiny seedlings erupt in the rich soil and reach for the sky. It's been a beautiful day in the woods, exploring how carefully Mother Nature takes care of all of us. Oh, and remember that pop can we found?